Good afternoon, folks. This is Jay from Cold Nights, and we are coming at you with another huge collection video. So, this one is one of my great young adult memories in gaming. I can remember when the Nintendo GameCube first came out in 2001. Now, this is not my original, this is the second one I had. My original was purple, and I remember buying a Zelda like puffy sticker that you put on the outside of it, and it was like a skin for it. I still have that one, but the lid won't stay closed, so it does function, but you have to keep a book on top of it. But this is my second one that I had, and this has the Game Boy player, of course, and the all-important Game Boy player disc that you need to have with that. So this is the one that I do use to stream and record video for. And some of the gameplay clips, I'm sure, that we'll show during this were recorded on that. And this one, another one of my favorite peripherals. I did do a stream on this a couple of months ago. It is the bongos. These are always fun. We had a great stream doing that. The funny thing is, as a 40-year-old man now, I quickly realized that pounding on these for a couple of hours quickly wears out your endurance and gives you quite a lot of pain in like your shoulders and chest. So I kind of learned a lesson there. But without further ado, let's go to a little vignette I've put together on the history and introduction of the Nintendo GameCube.
Released in November of 2001 in North America, the GameCube was Nintendo's 6th generation offering. Nintendo worked with Ardex to develop the console, which was made up of former Silicon Graphics engineers who had previously worked on the N64's chipset. This would be one of their final projects before becoming defunct. Nintendo made some unusual decisions for the GameCube. While modernizing to disc-based games, they chose smaller proprietary discs. They did not include any multimedia functionality, such as a DVD player. Curiously enough, many are not aware that the motion control scheme of the Wii was originally planned for the GameCube but was not implemented. They did, however, lead the way with both a universally beloved controller design and state-of-the-art Wavebird wireless controller. It launched at $199 with 15 initial launch titles. It did not have a Mario launch game, which many considered a poor business move on the part of Nintendo. The GameCube's also unique in the fact that Nintendo released many more teen and mature games, trying to change their kids-only image. It performed poorly compared to other Nintendo consoles and to the consoles of its generation. It still garners a strong cult following with Nintendo enthusiasts and collectors to this day. Oddly, in recently leaked documents, it was revealed that Nintendo was working to develop a portable GameCube with a built-in display and dock for the television, much like the Nintendo Switch. Let's take a look at the Game Boy player. Released in June of 2003, it made the GameCube backwards compatible with Game Boy Advance, Color, and the original Game Boy games. Many praised the effort, as it added many more games to the library, but some saw it as a cheap and lazy stunt to supplement the struggling system. It allows you to change the frames around the game, and play them in original screen size or a wider screen. I personally adored it, and thought that both the Super Game Boy for the SNES and this were far ahead of their time and are something console manufacturers should be looking back at for inspiration, as we still struggle mightily with backwards compatibility today in 2024.
All right, so we are back, and we are ready for some collection inspection. So we're going to get started right away, and we have Spyro, Enter the Dragonfly. This is the player's choice, and it is complete. I do love the disc art on a lot of these. All right. This one was a great one. I love the Spyro games. This one was a fun one. And then we have another one that I loved. I was a huge fan of Tony Hawk. And the Tony Hawk Underground games were a ton of fun as well. This one, also complete, looking pretty nice. Now, the other thing about this collection is 90% of these are my original ones that I picked up. All right, so a lot of them will have stickers on them. from like the used game places or rental places that I got them from. And a lot of people say, Jay, why don't you clean those off? They, to me, are a wonderful reminder of the great memories and where I got those from. So to me, they're part of the history of the game. So I don't ever see myself getting Goo Gone and trying to remove them. Now, on some game that I just picked up from GameStop that's brand new in 2023, yeah, I probably will remove those labels. But from a lot of these, if there's like a Blockbuster label on it, never going to beat a Blockbuster again. So I definitely want to remember that. This one of my all-time favorites. I still love to fire this up from time to time and just go at it. Wave Race Blue Storm. The first Wave Race on N64, guys, is probably one of my favorite games of all time. And when this came out, better graphics, more racers, more courses. You just couldn't beat this. I adore this game. Super Smash Bros. Melee. This is where it is at. I put so many hours into this game. I have a ton of friends who are like competitive Smash players. I'm not that good, but I did have a hell of a time with this. And this was a game that was so much fun to get all the little trophies and do all the completion things. And this one also, beautifully complete, looking sweet. So, the book was in there upside down, but that's all right. A lot of people don't value the sports games in their collection. And this one, I'm sure, is only worth $5 or $10. But MVP Baseball 2005 with Manny Ramirez on the cover is probably one of my all-time favorite sports games. I can honestly remember sitting in front of my GameCube in my bedroom, listening to Garbage on my headphones, and just playing this for hours. And even if I wasn't listening to Garbage, this had some of the greatest songs that I can ever remember. I can't explain enough how much fun I had with this. And I guarantee you, if you were to poll like sports games fans, specifically baseball fans, this is many people's favorite baseball game of all time. All right, Mario Golf, Toadstool Tour. These games are so damn good. So good. Honestly, can't beat them. Golf games, I never thought I'd get into them. And I remember back on the PSP getting into Tiger Woods PGA Golf. And then I started playing all these Mario Golf and going back and playing older golf games. And the thing is, it's hard to mess up a golf game. Most of these are enjoyable as hell. And when you're getting to play as like Koopa, Donkey Kong, Peach, and playing golf, it's so fun. I definitely suggest checking these out. And these ones on the GameCube and on the Wii, the sports games from Nintendo had so much more content. So many people on the Wii U and the Switch, when they get to new sports games like Strikers and the new golf game, they're like, wow, there's like a multiplayer mode, there's a solo mode, but there's not really any story. There's not a ton of unlockables. These games had that. They were just better made back then. I will enjoy playing Toadstool Tour more than I would play the new Mario Golf. I guarantee it. One of the other beautiful things during the time of the GameCube and the PS2 was Sega producing all of these awesome collections and seeing all your favorite Sega properties and characters freed and on these other consoles. I adored playing this game. And when you look at the back, you literally can't beat this. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball, and Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. If I remember correctly, this also had like a cool little like Sega history thing where you could look at information on the games and the releases of them. Such a great time. Definitely worth picking up. Ooh, this one's a classic. This one is a classic, and I love the little pamphlets that were with it. We got Paper Mario, the Thousand-Year Door. This is one of the finest RPGs ever created. This is such a good game. I am so excited that Paper Mario is making a huge comeback. The Mario RPG is making a huge comeback. During this time, playing these games, playing the Superstar Saga games, Mario in RPG form is chef's kiss. And these are wonderful games. You can put 40, 50, 60 hours into this game and just get lost in it. You can grind out your Koopa Troopa. It's incredible. Can't beat it. If you haven't played this, you got to. One of my absolute favorite underrated RPGs. First experienced it on the Dreamcast, and then they put out this incredible release, Evolution Worlds. So Evolution Worlds combined the two games into one, if I remember correctly. But these games were so fun, guys. I have my original Evolution, Evolution 2 in the other room on Dreamcast, pristine jewel cases and all. But this, unfortunately, not complete, right? And you can see I got it previously owned at Blockbuster for $9.99, but this is just an incredible game. And I cannot recommend it enough. A lot of people aren't even aware of Evolution at all. I think it might be time for an Evolution retrospective. Maybe we'll hit it big with that. Sims 2 Pets. I enjoyed the Sims games, not as much as my wife did, but I definitely enjoyed playing them. We got the Sims 2 Pets, and then right over here, we got the Herbs, which was even cooler. At the time, I loved the Black Eyed Peas to death. And we can see that one's complete. How is Sims 2 Pets looking? Is that complete? Yep, that one's complete too. Looking good. But these games are always fun. And it was really cool to have something that she liked just as much or more than me, so we could share that experience. So that was really fun. This one I just picked up recently. I was going to play it on stream. I haven't got to check it out. Scooby-Doo Mystery Mayhem. I got this at GameStop, $12. It's definitely in rough shape, but it is complete. But whenever I see a GameCube game hanging out, probably not worth it because it is pretty frayed up, but I was excited to grab it. Maybe we'll stream it sometime soon. All right, Twilight Princess. Can't really say much more about that. This is one of those games. Classic story. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I know that this era of Zelda is not for everybody, but you should experience this one way or another. Honestly, this game, I watched my wife play it. That's how I experienced it. But it's cool to have it here on the GameCube. I watched her play it on the Wii. But definitely cool to have Twilight Princess. Sorry, the cat was like right in front of me. I don't know if you could hear him meowing. I'm like looking down. I'm like, what are you doing? Get out of here. This is another one I picked up recently. I love Carmen Sandiego to death. I loved playing the computer games in school. And I even loved the new cartoon. So I always thought Carmen Sandiego was one of the coolest, sexiest characters. She's this badass femme fatale that's going around like stealing monuments and shit. Like, how do you beat that? I haven't tried this out yet. I definitely want to get to it though. Carmen Sandiego. And look at her right there. She is looking fine. Oh, guys. Wrestling games have a special place in my heart. Right? I was one of those kids playing WCW versus Nitro. Versus NWO. I was one of those kids that was playing like the LJN games back on like the Nintendo. And let me tell you this, Def Jam Vendetta is one of the coolest wrestling games, even if you know nothing about rappers. If you like hip hop from that time at all, it is an ultra special game to play. Because when you are beating people's ass with DMX and Joe Budden, it is incredible. All right. Such a great soundtrack. If you like hip hop, there's songs today that are still on my YouTube music playlist from this game. Come and Take a Walk with Me by Joe Budden. Can't beat it. This game is a game that I recommend anyone play. Whether you like rap, wrestling or not, you will love this. I promise you. All right. This is one of those rare, somewhat rare. It's gone from being super rare to not rare. Who knows? But it is the Ocarina of Time and Master Quest 2-disc set. It's got sneak peeks for F-Zero, 1080, Wario World, Metroid Prime. So much good stuff on here. I don't honestly even remember how you got this. Oh, look at this. Special preview of Wind Waker. I love looking at the documentation that comes with these things. But I know that My wife had to have both of these. We got this one. We got the other special one that I believe has the original Zelda game on it. I'm sure we'll get to that in a minute. But these are awesome. Controversial games coming up. Got some of these first party babies here. Super Mario Sunshine. I got some friends who despise this game. And let me tell you guys, I love it. The mechanics, I know a lot of people like to say that they're rushed and that the flood was not a great mechanic. That is complete bullshit. The game is very fun to play. And if you get into the game and you get into the story of Bowser Jr., and Bowser Jr. thinking Peach is his mom, and he wants to stop Mario because he thinks Mario hurt Peach, it is adorable. It gives great backstory to the characters. There are some fun challenges in this. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But it is definitely a very fun game to play. Another one that is a little debated. Luigi's Mansion. Beautiful game here. I will tell you, when it first came out, I picked it up, but I wasn't too crazy about it. Later on, I went back and found out that I really enjoyed this game and I had really missed out. And that was one of those times where I learned sometimes you got to go back and give things a second look. You got to give them another try. Because if I never went back to this, I wouldn't have enjoyed this or its sequels. And that would have been a big loss. All right. Here we're getting to some survival horror stuff. Resident Evil Remake. Love this game to death. You absolutely cannot beat this. This is... I remember when I first saw the graphics in this and the different camera angles and the character redesigns and the zombies respawning. This completely changed the game. This is something that, for any fan of Resident Evil, blew your socks off. So definitely check this out if you haven't. Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. Still got my played it, trade it sticker on it. $12.99 used. Unfortunately, I do not have the book for it. But this is a beautiful game. We were playing this on stream. Funny story, for those of you that may not have seen the stream. We were playing this on stream, I don't know, a couple months ago. And this game has sanity effects. When you're around certain monsters or certain things happen to you in the game, your character starts to lose their mind. And one of the sanity effects is it saying your saves are being deleted or the system is frozen up. And so I'm playing and I get a disk read error. And it says, the disk cannot be read. Consult the GameCube manual. And I'm like, hey guys, look, sanity effect. Let's see and wait how long this stays. And we wait. Minute goes by. 2 minutes go by. Yeah, no. The GameCube was effing up. It just wasn't reading the disc. So I sat there for like 5 minutes and then had to take it out, wipe off the disc a little bit, and we were good. But I was like, damn, I sat there for 5 minutes thinking that was a sanity effect. But definitely check this out, guys. Whether you love survival horror or you just like unique gameplay elements, checking it out, even if it's for those sanity effects, definitely worth it. We played this one on stream too. One Piece Grand Adventure. It's so crazy to think, going back, that One Piece games are getting made on PS2, GameCube. It's so long ago, but it's been going for so long. We had a great stream. We had some fun scenes with Mihawk. Definitely check this one out. It's available on PS2. I think I have it there too. Definitely worth looking into, for sure. All right. Got a couple of quick sports games. MVP Baseball 2004. This was the one before the best baseball game ever. Still great. Pretty sure it's still complete. Yeah, I took care of my sports games back then. And then Tiger Woods PGA Tour 06. I put so much time into this. Adore it. I'm telling you guys, whether it's one of the new ones, whether it's one of the cartoon ones or Mario ones, if you've never tried a golf game, damn it, try it out, man. It's really fun. And of course, same thing as One Piece. Naruto games have been around forever. Naruto Clash of the Ninja 2. These are all fun. This has some of the earlier characters. You definitely can't beat it. So, I don't know if I played this one a ton, but definitely worth checking out. All right. Sonic Heroes. This is another controversial game, but I love it for the simple fact that we have Team Rose with 3 of my all-time favorites, and I know a lot of people don't like them, but I love Big the Cat. I don't know if it's because I'm 6'8", over 300 pounds, but I love Big. You can make fun of him all you want. Froggy, Froggy. I freaking love Big. The relationship he has with that frog is a special and beautiful thing. Don't forget that. And then Amy, she's got undying love for Sonic. She would be the perfect wife for Sonic. And then probably one of my all-time favorite Sonic characters, Cream. And they're all on one team in this game. Is the game super hard? No. Is it super easy? No. Is there flaws to it? Yes. But to be able to play all 3 of them together. And remember, it had the awesome mechanic where one of them was a flying, one of them was a speed, one of them was a power. So there's different parts in the stage where you have to use the different characters. So it's definitely worth checking out. Especially, don't forget, you also have Rouge, Shadow, one of Robotnik's robots, and then you got the Chaotix. You got SBO, you got Vector. You can't beat it. And then Donkey Kong Jungle Beat goes along with those bongos, which are now buried under a stack of games. Definitely worth checking out, though, even for the novelty of it. Like I said, I played it for like an hour. I'm probably good for 20 years. Maybe I'll play it again when I'm 60. But it was fun. The bosses are super fun. It's really cool. Very immersive. You get really into it. So definitely check that out if you haven't. More Tony Hawk. Generic kind of case. I'm pretty sure it's, yeah, just this. No book. Tony Hawk, can't beat it. I think 4 is where it kind of went downhill a little bit, though. So, up next, we got Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life. Again, right? You think of how long some of these series have been going. Harvest Moon. Beautiful book, too. Harvest Moon and these games from Natsume have been going since the Super Nintendo. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. But these are all fun. This was before it started getting kind of rough as we went on further. Thankfully, they've gone back to form. I really enjoyed Harvest Moon Winds of Anthos. But this was a fun one. And it's always cool to go back and see where the series was at this point. So I would definitely suggest checking this one out. This one I spent so much time in. Racing around in my Lamborghini Diablo. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. I used to play this one with my brother so much when he was living with us. We would play night after night after night. Whether you're playing solo, trying to get away from the cops, or you're racing each other and having a hell of a time, you cannot beat this game. Totally worth it. The other beautiful thing about a lot of these games, right, and I'm going to be upfront with you, I don't have any big finale at the end. You know, I don't have any of the big $300-$400 games. You know, I don't have a Gachapon game. I don't have, you know, the crazy Fire Emblem. But most of these games here, you can get between $10 and $20. And you can get a massively enjoyable game for $10 or $20. So collecting, at least for the GameCube, unless you're going for those top 5 or 6 titles, doesn't really have a huge barrier of entry as far as financials. So it's definitely something that you can have a hell of a time collecting. I promise you, you can get Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 for like $5. You definitely can't beat that. All right. So this was the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition promotional disc. So this was the one my wife wanted so bad. I think we got this at like GameStop. Yeah, $34.99 used. Way back in the day. This one had Legend of Zelda 2, Adventure of Link, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. All on one, well, I think it's 2 discs. No, 1 disc. You cannot beat that, guys. You cannot beat this. I'm sure this one's up there a little bit. It might be like $40, $50. But definitely worth grabbing. You can't beat that. Such a great collection of games. Whew. Resident Evil 0. Another one, a little controversial. Some people didn't like where the gameplay was split up and you had to go between the two. But being able to play as Rebecca, she was one of my favorite characters in the original Resident Evil. You absolutely can't beat it. And the leech dude, creepy as hell. You cannot beat the atmosphere in this game. And it had the same graphic style and fidelity as that Resident Evil remake. So these coming out right back to back, beautiful thing. All right. We are getting down to a couple games left here. So Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. This is the ultimate way to experience it. Beautiful, beautiful. Got that book, the beautiful disc there. You absolutely can't beat it. It's got the mission mode, all 6 playable characters, an expanded Chow mode. You cannot beat this. Sonic Adventure, both 1 and 2. A lot of people have a problem with 3D Sonic. I do not. I love them to death. They were such a good time on the Dreamcast, and being able to experience it in the definitive way on the GameCube, incredible. All right. Wind Waker. The GameCube had a lot of controversial games. A lot of people still look back at this and aren't crazy about it. I really love the disc on this. The gold looks so good. But you can't beat it. You cannot beat this for the art style. I remember a lot of people were disappointed at the time when it came out. They weren't huge fans of the cartoony cel-shaded art style. And then those same people many years later go back and they're like, wow, this is one of my favorite Zelda games ever. There's still people denying it, like my friend Zoo, but I think we'll eventually get them to catch on. Beautiful game. Star Wars Bounty Hunter. This one I was super excited for when it came out because I loved Jango Fett. Complete. I'm not going to tell you it was the best game. I was a little let down by the gameplay, but Star Wars games are always fun. So I can't not recommend it, but I can't fully wholeheartedly recommend it. But it was fun at the time to experience. Would I go back and play it a ton? Probably not. Legend of Wrestling 2. Love this game to death. It's got Hogan and Andre on the back, prominently featured. She is complete. Pretty sure, again, this is an awesome wrestling game that you can pick up for like $5 or $10. You cannot beat the affordability of some of these games for the quality you're going to get. Mega Man Anniversary Collection. 10 Mega Man games on one disc. Exclusive interviews with the Mega Man creator. 30 original artwork selections. What a great back. Just reading off all the awesome features. So, again, any kind of awesome collection where you can get multiple games from Nintendo's historical franchises on one disc, you absolutely can't beat it. And I adore the artwork on the front of that. So cool. All right, Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix. Yeah, I bought it. I don't have the mat. I don't even know if you could just play with the controller or not. Maybe you can. I don't think I ever tried. Cool to have, though. All right, Pokemon Channel. And it's got a whole bunch of different TV things. This one used the little voice box, I believe. And it could also use the Game Boy Advance hooked up to the GameCube. A lot of cool features in this. If I remember correctly, it's definitely something that's meant to like distract kids for a little bit. You're not going to find a ton of like super deep gameplay on this. But it's definitely a cool thing to have. And is it complete? No, it's not. But what can you do? And, guys, this game, I know a lot of you who either got into gaming during the pandemic or got back into gaming during the pandemic. The newest Animal Crossing was like the greatest thing for you. This game took so much of me, my friends, and my wife's time. And we had such an incredible time. We're talking hundreds, thousands of hours put into this. This is where it all started in North America. And it's beautiful. Love this stuff. Still can go back and enjoy this game for what it is. The newer ones have a lot more features, a lot more customizability. But this is the roots, and it's where it all started. I remember playing this, and like some of my friends would come over. They're like, "What the hell is that? What kind of game is that?" And then I'd be like, "Try it out, dude." And then within like a half hour, they're hooked on Animal Crossing, and they're going to Walmart or Target to try to buy Animal Crossing. So this is a fun game to share with people to get them to expand their horizons to a different kind of game. Well, guys, that's it for the GameCube collection. Like I said, that's a special one to me. That was when the end of my teenage years, when I was in my early 20s, I was growing up as a man, starting to have a family, getting married, great times with my family and friends, and the GameCube has a plethora of great memories. And like I said, the pricing on the games, sure, it's gone up like a lot of other collectibles, but not at the same rate. You can still enter into the GameCube collecting community, have a blast, get games that you will enjoy or have nostalgia for, and not break the bank. So, hey guys, if you liked what we did here today, please subscribe. It really helps the channel. Give it a like, and definitely thank you for watching. And as always, stay creepy.